I was charged with 2 felonies and multiple other charges for driving intoxicated and hitting 2 pedestrians.
I didn't know where my son was.
I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to erase it.
I woke up in emergency room strapped to the bed by my wrists and my ankles.
I used their phone to call Eric, and he didn't answer.
I knocked on the door, and son, you need to get up.
Went straight to voicemail.
No parent should have to put a child in the ground. I had gone to work that morning. He had broken up with his girlfriend about 10 days before, not the first time. And he had moved back in with us, which he really didn't want to do. He was embarrassed and ashamed about living with his parents. And his room was right across the little tiny hall from us. My name is Laurie Schell. I live in Bayfield, Colorado, and I lost my son to addiction. My heart is broken. Jake wasn't up when I left, but when I got back, his door was still closed, and I thought he was working with his dad that day. So I knocked on the door, and son, you need to get up. I didn't hear anything, and I opened the door, and he was half off the bed, like he had tried to get up and fell. And it looked so... I just knew that it wasn't good. And ran to him and shook him and Jake, and he was non-responsive.
My name is Candace Rose, and I am the chapter lead of Young People in Recovery in Durango, Colorado. He was my best friend when nobody else wanted to tolerate me because of the struggles I was going through. He was a talented electrician. He was a really badass snowboarder. He was funny, he was charming, and he was full of love. It was about 1/4 till clock out time, and I got a call from Penny. I answered the phone, and she's like, Candace, did you hear the news? And I was, no. And it's not the first time I've gotten a call like that. My heart just sunk. Jake died. And like the world stopped. I mean,
Central Unit, any Central Unit and ADW in progress. 688, stand by for additional.
In 2016, I was charged with 2 felonies and multiple other charges for driving intoxicated and hitting 2 pedestrians. Upon leaving the bar at 2 a.m. and driving down College, where all the bars are located, I felt a thump and heard a thump I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw an angry mob chasing my vehicle. I reacted and I fled. I was scared. I went to my window. You could see the lights, you could hear the sirens. At that point, I really started to realize what had happened, and I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to erase it, and so I did the only thing I knew how, and it was drink. I ended up waking to a banging on the door. It was about 8 police officers. The sergeant introduced himself and said, "Mr. Baca, are you aware that you hit 2 pedestrians?" That's when my heart dropped and I knew my life was going to change forever.
The judge said, "If that's not rock bottom, I don't know what is." My son was a week away from his 4th birthday, and we were traveling home from Minnesota where we were visiting family. I made a choice to go to the liquor store and celebrate the fact that I made it to Denver that night with a bottle of whiskey. I had consumed that bottle and gotten a DUI. I woke up in a emergency room strapped to the bed by my wrists and my ankles, and I wasn't wearing my clothes. I didn't know where my son was. I found out later he was taken into protective custody, and I had left him alone in the hotel room. I laid on the ground and begged God to take my life. I felt like the worst mother in the world.
I was on my way home from the night of partying before, and as we approached the house, there were dozens of police at my house. So I had my friend continue to drive past our house, and I used their phone to call Eric, and he didn't answer. It went straight to voicemail. So the next person that I called was my mom, and I asked her if the police had been looking for me, and she was crying. And she asked me if I was alone, if I was safe, and then she let me know that Eric had overdosed and he had died. When I lost Eric, I was already in a state of oblivion, and that just spiraled me further. 3 years later, I had found recovery and was sustaining it. I was about 3 months sober when I got the news that Jake had succumbed to his own addiction too. When Eric died, I felt hopeless, powerless, no direction, empty. When Jake died, I knew that I couldn't sit back any longer and just continue to watch my friends and my community continue to destroy themselves and the people around them. And I decided to stand up and fight. They're not here anymore, but I still am. So I need to learn how to flow forward without them. Young People in Recovery plus Shane is a place where people can really explore their inner child, something that a lot of us lost when we entered into this lifestyle of addiction. You can't just tell somebody to go to a recovery group and they're going to get better. There's so many different elements in the continuum of care that people need, and it's up to the community to make sure those things are accessible if we want to see change. And this is the power of Young People in Recovery. We provide that space, and then we go out and we talk to the stakeholders in our community about what needs to change if we really want to see the health of our community get better. It's one thing to share your truth in a room full of people that have a similar truth, but to go out and speak publicly about the issues in our community and why people are struggling to find recovery and enter into recovery. And you don't have to be young in years to attend, but it's a place where you can celebrate being young at heart and rediscovering that inner child that was lost all those years ago.
Candace really said YPR plus Shane. Fair enough. My name is Shane Shooter Nelson, and I'm one of those young at heart people in recovery. I'm also the founder of All Forward Adventures and Rafting for Recovery. My recovery started in 1999 when I found my biological family. Found out my father died drinking and driving at 33 in a one-truck accident on Highway 1 in the middle of the night in a ditch. Very unspectacular. I realized I was being shown my own mortality. Every leaf on every branch of the family tree was affected by addiction. And even more than addiction, my blood has the rebel in it. From a young age, I was pushing back and fighting and resisting because I didn't see anything I wanted to be that they were telling me I needed to be. And so I think for all my early years, I was on a quest to find who I was and where I fit, where I belong. I'm an incredibly sensitive person. And when you're a young child and you feel everything around you, if what you've known so far is abandonment and loneliness, then that's what you feel. My personality is really big. I'm a lot, and I'm aware of that. I know my effect on people. And from a young age, I could understand that I was a lot to deal with. So dealing almost constantly with a little bit of rejection or making people uncomfortable it was painful. And so I developed a way to protect myself, and that was hurt them first. It took a long time to atone for that. What I realized was that I was hiding my greatest gifts while playing to my greatest weaknesses. And instead, what I needed to do, I found in recovery, and that is be vulnerable, be sensitive, and most of all, share what I've learned. And what I learned was the river and the wilderness. Those are my places. The river has the power to teach you flow, and that's the power of our rafting trips. So over time, we've realized that positive engagement with life is much more powerful than negative consequence.
The first night we were there, we were hiking as the sun was going down. Shane was leading the group, and we came to a place where he stopped us all, and that's where he told us that we were going to continue the rest of the hike as it got deeper into the darkness in silence. I remember being so pissed off at Shane. The moment somebody told me that I couldn't, then I just wanted to rebel and do it. It brought a lot of clarity and insight into how I operate as a human, and made me really think about all the things that a lot of us say that don't need to be said, and helped me start to think more about being intentional with the words that I use and the things that I share and the people that I share that with.
The purpose of the silence on the night hike is to remind people that there's power in our words. We have choices in our words, and we have actions in our words. What you say about yourself what you say to others, those are the ways you relate to the world. And when that's removed and you're someplace so incredibly beautiful, when it's your chance to talk again, what you say becomes much more meaningful. And that's the thing I want people to take with them on this trip as we go downriver. The idea that what they say and who they say it to can completely change the quality of their lives.
Feel the river flow. Let it take a go.
By the time we reach camp, the first night, that's when the conversations really start to get deep. A day on the river can do a lot to a person. You watch these bonds being formed, you watch these friendships being built, and then it's time to be quiet and let the river speak for itself.
Shines down. So listen to the sound. This river's gonna resurrect love. So open your heart, this water flows from above. This river's gonna resurrect love. So open your heart, this water flows from above. Release the morning dove and watch it fly into the rising sun in the sky. A journey into love, giving hope. Sisters, brothers, sing. Welcome home. 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 Welcome home.
What's been built here is trust, redemption, community, and a companionship and connection to one another that'll last far beyond this trip. On the last day, we gather under the rocks, and again, we're asked to be quiet. It's my belief that the three things that will control the quality of your life the most are your ability to love, your ability to be loved, and your relationship with fear, all of which are terrifying. But when you have this thing built that you can push on and rely on and believe in, saying it without your words becomes so incredibly easy. I found the river and it changed my life. I feel that the river has the power to wash anything clean. The river has the power to teach you flow.
See, every time I look into the mirror, I see you there. And every time I speak, I hear those things that you said. I hear you there. And every time I play with
My name is Sarah, and I am a healer.
My name is Candace, and I see you in the world, and I want to help you see yourself.
My name's Cruz Baca. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a mentor, I'm a professional, and I'm a healer.
Oh, the raft trip. A beautiful, powerful thing for me. It helped me to see that how beautiful they all are, that they're trying to get better.
My name is Laurie Shell, and I am a caregiver and so grateful for this life and these wonderful people I've met here.
Because I need you near. Because